Hermano, ¿cómo estamos?
What's up? All good? How's it going?
Good. Everything all good. It's bright and early morning here in Oslo, Norway. It snowed out tonight, so it's all white outside, and yeah, just got out of bed and ready to talk some football shirts. I dream about them, I think about them, and obviously now I'm able to talk about them as well.
Oh, awesome, mate. I was very excited as well because since I saw like all the photography that you've been doing about your soccer jerseys, also the quality of the shirts that you have, I say like definitely Jonas has to be here, and the people has to know this about this collection because seriously, you have an amazing collection, and I know that you are like kind of like a lover of Manchester United and Valencia. And you say Valerenga as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any Valerenga soccer jersey, so I put just a Valencia blue shirt,
Yeah.
so we can connect with both clubs.
I appreciate it. I have to say, I know he's watching. I saw he was entering the stream there, and the guy who takes all the photos, who makes it all look really nice, is a guy called Magnus H. Badström. He's a really close personal friend of mine. He's the one who makes it look good. So, I mean, there are a lot of cool shirts, yes, but those shirts wouldn't look cool if we weren't two people. So it's primarily my collection, but my personal kit show is both Jonas and Magnus. So, and I know he prefers me to do these things, so it's better that I do it. But I'm just when I'm going to give someone credit, I have to give it where it's due, and Magnus is as much a part of it as I am.
Yeah, incredible. To be honest, like a very, very, very good, like talented photography and quality of jerseys that you're showing that as well.
Thank you.
So, first of all, we have to know you a little bit better. I know like many people know you, but many could not as well. So I think the best is like just you show everybody who you are, what you do, where you live, etc.
Yeah, no, my name is, I have a three-parted name now. My name is Jonas Adnan. I am part Norwegian, part Moroccan. I live in Oslo, Norway, born and raised in Oslo, Norway. I am 31 years old. I'm getting to the stage where I no longer have hair on my head, so that is beautiful. I've worked for many, many years as a journalist, sports journalist. I've interviewed some really, really cool people in the world of sports journalism. I currently work as a developer or a content partner on an app called FC Quiz, which is a trivia app, which is a football quiz app, which is available in 9 different languages, where we create quizzes about damn near anything that has to do with football. So I hope that people take the time to download it and be part of FC Quiz, because I think it's going to be huge and amazing going forward. Yeah, and other than that, I do probably a couple of podcasts myself, one on La Liga. That's why if you wanted to have done this in Spanish, we could have done it in Spanish.
Yeah.
But we do it in English instead, so everyone can understand what we're saying. So no, that's a little bit about me. I think I don't have any, and obviously I'm a avid football shirt collector. So that's how I am.
Yeah, I saw that you were like as well, like kind of like interviewing some Spanish, like well-named programs talking about Haaland and the story behind like Manchester City, Real Madrid, and all that like TV telenovela, as we say, like that it was happening at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say like we have to talk it. Your shirts, like your location and everything, and how you communicate, is like mainly in English. So this episode it has to be in English.
Of course.
Um, but yeah, very, very nice. And well, it is the time now that we, after knowing like yourself a little bit more, we start to talk about the important thing that brings us here, which is the soccer jerseys, the football shirts. And the first question that I have to ask you is, Jonas, how many shirts do you have in your collection?
Look, I was going to count it, and I started counting. I tried to count 3 times, and 2 times I was interrupted by a phone and I had to stop the count. And the third time I got out of count. Like I kept going, and I was like, "What number was I on?" Oh no, I'm not gonna do this. But I'll tell you this. Point in my or in the bio, I wrote that it was 150 plus shirts. Now it says 200 plus. So it's more than 200. If I'm going to guess, when I stopped counting, I was at 189, and I still had another rack to go. So I think I was at 189, if memory serves me right. So I'm going to say about 250 shirts. It's insane. It's too many. It's way too many. But I mean, it's a passion. It's a passion project. I do it. I do it because of my own, for my own sake. I don't do it for anyone else's sake. I find passion in it, and I think it's a beautiful way to connect with football memories, connect with football, and I have to say, I also think it's wonderful to be part of a football shirt community, which is growing and growing and growing, and I think it's really cool that we now have collectors, which is easy to find, and you have the people that buy shirts because they're a little bit interested, and you have people that try to rekindle with childhood memories, and then you have those that buy it because they look good. So you kind of have everything. You kind of have everything now. It's not just a nerd thing that it was a couple of years ago. Now it's sort of become refined, nice. It's a little bit different, which I really appreciate, and yeah, it's really evolved in yeah, a little bit over a year, I'd say.
Yeah, 250 is a very big number, to be honest. Do you have like any system, or you are just like, okay, I think I'm gonna be like this. I don't know, I'm not sure, or like you have an Excel, or you have like an app that you can put it on it.
No, I don't, and that's something that I've spoken to a lot of people about, and I said that if you the person, the individual that creates the football shirt collecting app, where you can sort of on the shirts that you have, that person is going to make a fortune, because there's no app like that. There's, of course, you do have Kid Archive that has a sort of way of doing it on their site, but it's not an app. It's not where you can just sit and do it, and you can take a photo of it and share your collection through an app or through an interface, which I thought would have been fantastic if someone had done that. So don't have that system, but I do have a thought in the back of my mind. But there was one time where I was like, it was a shirt that I was able to buy, and I was looking at it, and I was saying to myself, don't I have that in my collection? And I ended up buying it, and it proved that I don't have it, but I have the shirt from the season before, which was very similar. And
Okay.
it was actually one of my latest purchases. So when I got it, I had to compare the two, and I was like, "Oh Lord, do I have the same one?" No, I don't. So I was lucky.
Okay. Yeah. I know someone that he create already an app, like kind of you take the photo, you put your information, and like you are creating your collection in the
Hmm.
app. But it's not like that you say that you could cross it and then you have all the shares of the war, and then you're like plan, 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 completing, right? But it's very difficult. And it happened to me before that before I have like the Excel spreadsheet with all the shirts that I have in my collection, it's I just like was guessing, but I stopped doing that because one day I say, I'm gonna try to find this shirt, and I was trying to find it, and I never found it. So I
No.
don't know what I did with that, if I actually give it to somebody, or if I sold it, or I don't know. I don't know.
No,
Um,
that has happened to me as well, and misplacing shirts as well, where you
yeah,
don't remember
yeah,
where you put it. Oh, it's because it's one shirt that I have in the collection that I was asked about it the other day, and they wanted to see it, and I couldn't find it, and it was like, where did I put that shirt? And I've been looking everywhere for it, but I know it's in the house somewhere, but just misplaced, and I hate misplacing things
yeah,
because I always have, as you can see, the rack behind is where I have most of the shirts. That's most
yeah,
of them. Um, but to me, as you see, like a lot of people look at it and say, "Oh, that looks chaotic because there's colors everywhere." I know exactly where everything is. If you
yeah.
want to ask me a shirt, I'll find it in a second for you, no problem. Because back of my mind,
Everything.
I know everything. Back of my mind, I know everything. I know exactly where to go. I know exactly where it is. So I've always said, if you can control your chaos, if you can control the chaos, it's good.
Yeah, true,
When I don't have the control anymore, I have to figure out something else.
true, 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 true. Well, and in all of that share that you have in your collection, which are amazing. You have to have one that you say like, "Oh, I was extremely excited, happy to find that shirt." Which is that jersey that you say like, "Oof, this jersey." And if you
See,
can,
I
if you
yeah,
can show it to the camera as well,
no,
it'd be
I
great.
will. Of course, I will. I just have to think because I know you sent over a couple of questions, but I said to myself, if I prepare myself, this is not going to work as well as if I'm able to just react. I'll show you the one that I was really excited about because I remember it very well as a
Yeah.
kid, and it was this one,
Oh yeah.
this part of my shirt. Yeah,
Ah,
but it had to have the
Kata.
Nakata on the back as well. Because I remember once when I was a kid, we had a store in Oslo, which is called Football Shop. Everyone in Norway will know about this store, but it's just called the Football Shop, and it was like in the biggest shopping mall right in the middle of the capital, and they had this shirt, and I remember I was a kid, and I loved going there, loved to go, and I just looked at shirts. I never bought anything because I couldn't afford it, and my mother couldn't afford it. I was looking at them printing the shirts. I just love the fabric of shirts, everything. But the shirt that really just, whenever I saw it, it was this Parma shirt. And with the Nakata on the back as well, I
Yeah.
love the Hidetoshi Nakata. And when I was able to buy it, when I was able to find it, I said, look, I have to have it. I have to have it because it was the shirt that I remember I wanted the most, just because of how it looks. I
Yeah,
have
it's
nothing to do with
amazing.
the club. It's the champion sponsor on the side. It's I mean, it's just insane. You got people talk
Yeah.
about the kappa on the sides. I mean, look at the champion on the sides. It's so when I saw it, I just said I had to have it. And as well, it's one of those shirts that I think that if you're a collector, you understand how important this shirt is to that time. But if you're not, if you're just someone that walks around and you see a shirt, you'll think this is really, really cool. So I think
Yeah.
it's one of those shirts that hit everything on the mark. I'll say that this is probably the one shirt that, this is the one shirt that it makes me, it when I got it, when I saw it, I was like in my childhood, my little boy inside was like, yes, you have to get this shirt. So I love it when I find shirts that make me feel that way.
Yeah, and as you say as well, a very, very iconic manufacturer that it was
Mm.
just like that kind of like, I don't know, 3, 4 seasons with Parma, and that Parma that it was like an incredible team that they have like, oof, what a players, what a team, and they make a story as well in Europe. So yeah, one of the shares that pretty much every collector dreams about it, like the same that the Fiorentina Nintendos or like
Oh,
a couple of very iconic shares that when you see it, you say like, oh, it's here or never. I have to have it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
amazing. And obviously, Nakata, what a player. One of the, I think like the Japanese Beckham,
Oh,
like,
certainly. No, I think people forget how good he
yeah,
was. I mean, he was sensational when he played in Perugia and in Roma and Parma. He was fantastic. So, no, I feel very lucky and very fortunate to have that shirt. And I think that's one of the shirts that if I ever was to not collect anymore, that's one of the shirts that I'd probably still keep just because yeah, it just, there's a lot of it inside of me that just rekindles my childhood looking at that shirt.
yeah. Well, look at that. We have a here in the chat. We
Oh,
have a
yeah.
message from Alonso jerseys collection, which is like Diego. He said like he haven't sleep, just waiting for this talk. He's in Seattle. He's in US, so it
Oh,
should be very very late now. But yeah, incredible collector as well. Has amazing
I have
jerseys.
to say, I have
Um,
to say, if he's in Seattle, my family is from Washington State, so it's really really close to Seattle. So it's good to see some local people from the Seattle area around in the chat. So appreciate you staying up.
yeah, yeah. They could join together and have this video in the living room. Together.
They should.
Funny. Well, another question that I'm very interested, and this is like just to like understand what type of collector you are. It's what do you prefer? Do you prefer like modern shirts or more like vintage shirts?
That's a good question. I do collect both. I'll say that I collect both. I think both are cool. I do have shirts from this season. I tend to go for vintage just because my collection is mostly about shirts and about things that I can reconnect with in terms of childhood and growing up and stuff like that. So 90s and early 2000s and mid 2000s is kind of where I like to remain when it comes to shirt collecting. But there are moments and there are like set things that I do love about football that I can sort of relive again through a shirt and that I think is beautiful to have in terms of a collection. And there's some shirts from this season that I gotta say, sometimes there's a shirt that I just go, wow, that's cool. Wow, that's, oof. I'd love to have that in my collection. And then I'm able to get it at a good price, or sometimes I just decide that, okay. Because another thing that is, to be honest, is that wearing vintage shirts, I'm scared to death because I'm so scared that I'll walk outside and there'll be a little rip in it or there'll be something that happens with it. So I tend to like to wear modern shirts because the fabric of it is usually quite better. It's easier to wash. It's easier to sort of maneuver around in. So I tend to when I buy a modern shirt, I wear it off. I wear all of my shirts, but I wear the modern ones more than I wear the vintage ones. So I go for both. I go for both.
Easy. Yeah. It's yeah, I think like when you have, for example, pieces like that, the Nakata one that you just show us, or the Ronaldo one that you have now with Barcelona, it's just like very difficult to wear them just because you don't control your space when you're outside. If you're taking photos, it's like so easy because you can put it in a
Yeah,
bag or whatever and then take the photo
yeah,
and then put it back, you know.
yeah,
But you say like, let's go to eat something, you know, and like oil comes to the shirt,
yeah.
fucking nightmare to clean it up. Mostly if it has the name set, you're like, oh, it's so much pain.
You don't
Just
want to sit. Have you had this where you have a chair and you don't want to sit back in the chair because you're scared that it's going to like ruin the name set?
yeah,
I
yeah,
have that one as
yeah,
well. No, I agree. I got to tell a quick story. I have a friend of mine. Yes, yeah, we have the same shirt, which is the Norway 1998. Norway shirts in Norway, people go crazy for them. They pay so much money for the shirts of the 90s, and I'll show it. We have the exact same one. We both
yeah.
have we both have this one,
Oof, yeah. It's got a
which is the
shirt.
Nor. This is huge in Norway because this is the shirt when we played. We played in '98 World Cup, and we haven't been in the World Cup
Yeah,
since. So this shirt to Norwegians are like this is the one for a lot of
yeah,
Norwegians, and that's the guy who scored against Brazil, Kjetil Rekdal. He
yeah,
scored against Brazil in '98 when we won against Brazil. Norway is the only nation. Norway is the only nation that has never lost to Brazil. I have to point that out. We've never
yeah,
lost to Brazil. And he took this and he went to a fucking festival, like a festival, music, drinking, girls, everything. And I just looked at him and I was like, "Are you? Are you?" Because he's not a collector, but he likes to collect. You know what I'm saying? So he has a few shirts. When he sees shirts and he knows that there are pop-up shops and stuff, he'll go and he'll peruse and he'll buy stuff. But he wears it at like stupid places like this. And I just told him, I was like, he was sweating. It was like, I was like, man, do you know what you're doing to the shirt? I was more concerned about the shirt than the music and the drinking and the girls and everything. I was like, man, this is the shirt you don't want to ruin.
yeah.
So as you see, mine is pristine, mine is beautiful, mine is perfect. I wear it very very scarcely. For those who want to see some detailing out there, there's a little bit of detailing in the fabric as well. You have the Norwegian Football Federation in the back there.
Yeah.
You see it. You see it in there.
And you have
Um,
like the flag, but also you have the Norwegian badge as well.
that's
So
something that's very. This is very Norwegian.
yeah,
Norway, you if you're going to play for the national team, you have to have the flag. The flag is it's called. We say that you play with the flag on your chest. So even in our current logo, you will still see. For example, I'll show it to you. Hold on.
yeah,
I'll show you another one.
sure.
Um,
Yeah, we have in the chat as well the football share guy. He told us the Norway 90 shares are very underrated, and yeah,
I,
100% agree. They're so beautiful.
I have many of them, so if he wants to see them, let me know.
Yeah,
Um, See as well with the everyone talks
yeah, yeah,
about this.
yeah.
Everyone knows this. But still, see, we changed our logo, but still the flag remains.
there.
It
Yeah.
it still needs to be a flag. I believe it's almost close to being a law in Norway that you have to have a flag if you're going to represent the national team. But anyways, the Norway '98 shirt, he brought it to a festival, and I was like, oh my god, is there, can you buy like a festival T-shirt or something? Because I was like, at least have it under, because then you don't sweat out the shirt. I was crazy. I was crazy when that happened. So no, I love to wear modern shirts. Like I'll wear I'll wear this one, no problem. I'll walk around with this one because I know how to
Yeah.
clean this properly.
Yeah.
But the '98 one, no chance. So maybe, yeah, maybe if it's an event where I can move around a little bit and I know it's going to be very calm, I might wear it. But if not, I'll keep it at the house. And if people want to come and see it, they can come and see it, or they can look at my Instagram my Instagram profile.
Yeah. True, true. We have here another comment in the chat, and say like, if you have any PSG shirts.
I do. I have several. You can ask him if he wants to see. Does he want to see 2000s PSG? Does he want to see 2010s PSG? What does he want to see?
Let's wait to I'll worry 1990 to confirm which shirt of PSG would you like to see, and Jonas will show for us.
Yeah.
In the middle time, I will ask you,
Yeah.
what would you prefer, name sets or non-name sets?
Oh, name sets, 100% name sets, because I know a lot of people think that name sets are like stupid with shirts, but I love having name sets because they remind me of something from my childhood, or they remind me of the player that wore the shirt. Because sometimes the shirt isn't that cool, you
Yeah.
know. But once you stick
Yeah.
on that name set and you remember the player, the shirt becomes 10 times cooler. So I think name sets are not, and today a lot of shirts are being made with have like a big blank back as well, and that looks stupid. I don't like that the manufacturers do that, to be honest with you. I don't like it because it puts a lot of pressure on people to buy name sets,
Yeah.
especially like mothers that are, you know, poor mothers or poor fathers that have like 2, 3 kids. When they want a football shirt, they need to have a name set because the shirt's going to look weird. I don't like it, but I understand why they do it because name sets often make the shirt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think like that's part of the business as well. And for example, it's very difficult when you actually try to have, for example, like uh, home, away, third, fourth, fifth, special
Yeah,
edition, whatever like that. Like Napoli is the best club for doing that stuff. Like they have 20 per season, which is like stupid.
certainly.
But same situation that what you say, like it's make the people just spend the money,
Yeah, yeah, it's
spend,
too
and not make anything
crazy.
like more, like valuable. Also here we have a very nice comment that I think like it will connect with something that I would like that you like let us know, and is if you can show us a share from any Norwegian club, and I know that you are Valerengan fan, so you can actually show us like a couple of Valerenga shares.
Sure, I can do that. First I'll show you a different one that a lot of people think is like once they see it.
Yeah, sure.
I'll show this one. This is Molde.
Nice. Yeah.
Talking about name sets, weren't
Yeah. So Erlingo Haaland.
we? That's the shirt that he scored. Not the shirt, but it's obviously the same shirt that he scored 4 goals against Brann in, and then it was sold to Red Bull Salzburg a
Yeah.
couple of weeks later. So this is the shirt that started it all for Haaland. So this one is super cool.
Crazy.
So I'll show that one. And as you were talking about Vålerenga shirts, I can go on different routes here, but I love this one. This one is really cool. This is the first one that I put on my profile, actually.
What a beautiful, and all the template is
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah, the pattern like inside as well with the logo of the Valerenga. It's crazy.
it's insane. It's and it's so difficult to find because they had so many different versions of it, and the pattern is cool. And I'll explain a little bit. Bråtens, which is the sponsor up here, Bråtens. It was a
Yeah.
it was a flight company. It was an airline company that
Okay.
eventually would fuse with a different airline company. So it doesn't even exist anymore. You got Pepsi, the
Yeah.
old Pepsi logo up there on the
And like a
sides.
big and like a big block as well, like all the blue like background for a very big
Oh,
there. Yeah.
it's
So
printed
cool.
on the side.
Yeah.
It's really really cool. And then you have Viken Energinet, which was an electric company, which I don't believe exists anymore. Uh, Beneath it, it says Vålerenga mot rasisme, which basically means Vålerenga against racism,
Yeah.
because they were a club that had a lot of neo Nazis following them
Okay.
in the 80s and 90s, and they were eventually thrown out of the club. And every Vålerenga shirt since has had this one beneath or on the back of the shirt to show that they are taking a stand against racism at any given point. But that is not it though. You have this as well on the back. And Mix was for everyone that lived in Norway in the 90s and 2000s. Mix was a sweet shop. So
Uh-huh.
this is where you went to buy your candy. So if you wanted candy, you had to
Correct.
go to Mix. So this is probably, I think, I mean, I have a couple of other ones from Vålerenga. I'll show you. Hold on. Because there's one that's very similar.
It's very cool when the jerseys that from those years they have like full on of
Yeah.
sponsors, and look at that one, for example, in the neck.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Byggarn on the top here. Byggarn was a furniture store, or is a
Yeah.
furniture store. They still exist. Extra Energy was an energy bar, like you when you were eating energy bars and stuff.
Yeah.
That's the one. And obviously on here it says Norgesmester 1997. So they won the cup in 1997. So this was the shirt for the year prior where they celebrated their Norwegian championship. So you see, they're quite similar, but they're not.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. Even the
Sponsor on the
line,
back.
the three lines of the Adidas is like different color and different position, but what a shirt. They are beautiful. I really love that, like NASCAR bikes, all the sponsors together, very different colors, like it make it like shine the shirt.
It's insane. I mean, let's see. This one is the 98 shirt, and this one is the 97 shirt. But it
Yeah.
didn't change much, but it changed enough for it to be
Yeah.
cool. And every sponsor was changed almost, which is
Yeah.
very, very typical Norway to change sponsors a lot. So
Yeah.
having those shirts, and when I was able to sort of rekindle them, because they're from my city. Both that team is from my city, so to have those shirts is awesome. I have a couple of more up there, but not as cool. I think those are the coolest ones, and I'm talking to a gentleman about buying another shirt that's white, that's all white, which has the mot racisme on the chest.
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm able to get it, I got to shoot a photo of
Yeah.
that for sure.
It looks like it's gonna be like an amazing thing. Here we have a couple of like comments in the chat as well. Mejia Alberto, it say that he will give you like all the Madrid shirts that he has for everything that you have behind. So I don't know if it's a good deal for you.
I already have a couple of Madrid shirts down here, so I'm not sure if I need any one of them. Um,
Exactly.
I'll, I'll,
Um,
I'll, I'll envy him. I'll show him this. Hold on.
sure.
Let's see.
To
Let's
Alberto.
let's
Oh
see.
yeah,
Let's see
love
what he
it.
says about that. Let's see what he says. Let's see
And
what
look at
Alberto
that,
says about that one.
Guti, Guti, and like curious that data that they have that for that season, Real Madrid used like two different fonts. So the one that you have, but also it is you see that the
Yeah,
block and it's a Guti, but they also have another one which is no block
yeah,
and it's just the Guti like that.
yeah.
It is one was used like in Copa del Rey, like the cup, and the other one was like used in La Liga. But it has like different variations that you can find, and both of them authentic, both of them used for the club.
Exactly. I absolutely love this. My friend Evan. Everyone knows Kit Evan, of
Yeah.
course. He's the goat in Norway. Him
Mhm.
and Christer, who's FKH Sale. They are the goats in Norway. But Evan sold me this shirt, and actually, I posted a photo of this shirt outside of Santiago Bernabeu.
Oh,
Outside Santiago Bernabeu, and I posted because I had a friend of mine. I said, I have to take a photo for the account here. I have to. I'm sorry, we have to take the photo.
yeah.
So he did it, and Guti liked the photo.
Yeah, he's an icon of the club. He probably is not like Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of numbers, but he was all the career from like teenage in the club until like the being the captain, because he was the captain for a couple of seasons, and then obviously we are talking about a Real Madrid that it was like full of stars at that moment, so he couldn't shine enough.
No.
But what a player, what a class! All the passes that he made, it was unbelievable. I think like a couple of people just can make that like passes in a vision that you are like how he make that pass, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's unbelievable, unbelievable. Here we have another comment from Jabal Youssef, and he say, what do you think about the Norway 96 versus the Norway 98? Which is your favorite?
I'll allow him to decide. I mean, if he's talking about this one is the it's one. There's one in between that one and the one that I showed earlier, the 98 one. There's one that's kind of has like a cross down here. But to be honest with you, the shirts that Norway play tournaments in, obviously the 94 and 98 shirts are going to be the best ones that we've had. It's in my opinion, because they bring memories to me. But the best one that everyone talks about in Norway now, I mean the best one certainly, hold on, it has to be this one, doesn't it? This one. Come on. This is the best one.
Oh yeah. Fuck. That's incredible. And like the typography going down with that texture. Yeah, you at the beginning you don't understand what's going on, and then when you got it, you're like, wow.
This is the best one. And it says, obviously, as you said, the typography that goes down. It says Norge, which is Norway and Norwegian, and it's like a PowerPoint presentation almost. You know, it's like a PowerPoint, and it goes down on the specs on the side. It looks like you know. Remember when you had those old TVs where if you kind of change the channel the wrong way, it was like and it was like one of these. It's the same sort of. If you look at it, it's the same sort of thing that we used to have on the old TVs.
Yes.
So this is as 90s as you get it. This is absolutely fantastic, and I love the collar on it as well. The open collar. There's no button here. It kind of fits down. It's beautiful. This is, if you're talking Norway shirts, and I know that a few people are asking. I know Jafar is in there asking. He's a goat as well. This is the Norway shirt to get. I think this is the coolest one in my opinion.
Yeah. I think like Umbro in those days, they were like way far off all the manufacturers. Like many people talk about Kappa. Also Nike has like a couple of good ones, and Adidas. But Umbro, what a work that they did. Well, also like the big competition, obviously I thought like was Nike with all the Nike premieres and all that like cool designs that they have with, for example, like Dortmund or like PSG. But Umbro, crazy.
Underrated, very underrated. I completely agree. But I think in the 2000s, because I was talking about tournaments, Norway had also made it to the Euro in the 2000s with Umbro, and it wasn't as cool. I have to say, it was very bland. I don't have the home one. I have the away one, but I'm looking for the home one because, you know, if you're a collector, you have to have it, even though you don't think it's the coolest. But if you have the away, you have to have the home, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for that one, but they weren't really that cool. But Umbro in the 90s, I completely agree. In the 2000s, not so much, but in the 90s, yes.
Yeah. In the 90s, they were like the best. I think like it was like very, very difficult to beat them.
Great.
And unfortunately, they start to lose like obviously the contracts that they have with big clubs, also for like money and all that stuff. But crazy job. You can tell in the Premier League as well, because it was like many clubs, like the biggest one as well with them in the 90s and early 2000s, and you can tell how the quality and the design was like unbelievable.
Certainly, United and Chelsea especially had insane insane
you can like Everton as well has like a very, very beautiful like 90s from Umbro as well.
With the big crest, right? With the huge crest, it was like really, really big. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful shirts. Well, I want to ask you as well, what is the last shirt that you bought? The last one that you have right now that you received?
A couple of people saw this on the live recently, but that is this one. The
Oh,
nine, the
yeah,
95, 96 Dortmund with the short sleeve. I'm a short sleeve guy. I know a lot of people love the long sleeves. I'm a short sleeve guy. And if you look at it, if you look inside as well, you see the BVB
yeah,
on the side. I'll see if I
unbelievable.
can get some more lighting on there. You see the pattern running through it. Absolutely fantastic. Insane shirt. You were speaking about the premiere with the Nike premiere
Yeah,
of the '90s. I think that some of the things that they did with Dortmund is just it's those that have the full collection of it are really really lucky because once you buy one of those, it becomes
yeah,
addictive. You have to have all the shirts because as soon as I got this because I have the one from the season after as well. But once you get it and you look at the patterns and you look at everything about it, you just it becomes almost addictive to try and find every other shirt as well. And I love the home one, but I also love the away one, the black one. The black one is really cool. I don't have it, but I have to get it somehow. This is yeah, and it has the Dortmund on the back, which they all did.
yeah,
Um, insane shirts. You got the premiere down there. So
like the
obviously
premiere, yeah.
you gotta find the right tags for it, everything. So no, this is the last one. That's my last pickup. I have a couple of ones on the way as well. But that was the last shirt that got in the door.
Yeah, I think like 100% agree with you. Like once you have the first one of that neon era of like Borussia Dortmund, that it was like good years for the team as well, like
Yeah,
very iconic team that they like finished with like winning the actually Champions League, um, beating Juventus. I think like it's just like you have one and you want all of them. I think
mm,
like something similar happened to me with this like total 90s that you find one and then you're like, oh, I really want the Korean one, and then you got the Korean one and then you're like, oh, I saw the
yeah.
Morocco, and you say like, oh, like you just want more of them because you want to see them how they play. It's like templates unbelievable and very iconic for like everyone that bring us all these memories.
See, the thing about you touched on it there, but the thing about buying a template is just I've gotten to that point now where I'm looking at like templates and I'm like, I just want every shirt from this template. Like with this one as well, with this 96, 98 Kappa template, I'll show it to all of you.
Yeah,
I mean this one as well. I mean I love this template. This is probably in terms of templates, I have three or four, maybe even five shirts with this template. And whenever that template is around, I'm a
yeah,
buyer. I need to have every single Kappa 96 that 98 template. Oh Lord, I love that. I love this template so much. It's the most insane template, and it's so many different teams as well, which I
yeah.
love because you have Barcelona, Betis, Red Star Belgrade. You have
Juventus.
um, Juventus, of course. You have
Yeah,
so many different ones. And in Italy, I believe there's four or five of them as well. So I'm just whenever I see because I those times where you window shop where you go online and you look at the things you want to
yeah,
buy. And sometimes I'm like on my phone, I have to put my phone away. I cannot watch this because I'm going to bankrupt myself if I keep going.
yeah,
Yeah, and I see someone mentioning or Jafar there, the absolute goal. He's mentioned City
yeah,
and Betis. They're
yeah.
insane. I
Yeah,
have the I have the Bet
crazy.
I have the Betis one, but I don't have the City one.
Yeah, they have like an amazing, to be honest, like oof, some shirts that even the one that you just show us with Adidas with the template like this,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
oof, they
yeah,
have
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
some like in my mind, one of the ones I really wanna is River Plate. They have like the white
Oh,
version, but also they have like a like wine color. Oh my goodness, it's like
yes,
just
I've seen it.
unbelievable.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That one I've seen. I don't think I've seen the home one, but I've seen the Vino
Yeah,
Tinto version of it,
yes,
which is
it's
no. But I mean, I have to say as well. couple of those River shirts in the '90s as well is just you look at it and you think, Jesus, it's
Yes.
as well the one that everyone talks about. The one is it '98, the one with the details inside of the shirt, the River.
Yeah, I think so. And it was like years that also River has like a very iconic old players, but very like the early steps of like people like Aymar
Yeah,
or like another players that they were like massive in Europe and like also for the club. But they were like the mix of them, like
yeah,
Francescoli, Passarella, but also like very, very young, like Aymar or Sorin, like players that it was very iconic for them.
yeah,
And yeah, like and the share as well. So it make like a huge thing
yeah.
for them for River.
Crespo and Salas and everyone like that as well.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. Well, we were talking about like this. We haven't talked about money, so I think it's a good time as well to you start to tell
Oh
us like
no.
yeah. This is like someone say here like you can tell the price of one, but you cannot tell the price of everything because that's why like everyone you get like dangerous for you, you know, like everyone comes to like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this man, he's spending so much. But I just like to ask you, which was the most expensive shirt that you bought? If you wanna, you can tell me the price. Otherwise, you can just say like, for example, this is like I paid the double of a new shirt, so we can kind of
No,
guess
no,
and
no,
show
no.
us which is most expensive.
No, I'll show it to you because it's a very new shirt actually.
Oh, nice.
It's actually from last season, and the thing is, I decided. Look, when I buy shirts, I have a thing where I always say that I'll buy it if I can get a good deal on it,
Yeah.
or I'll buy bundle, like in
Hmm.
terms of getting more shirts and then obviously paying less for it. And I rarely pay retail for it. I rarely pay retail because as a collector, I think that some shirts you have to pay over the top for. You have to. It's just the case. But if you are able to get certain shirts from bundle prices, or you're able to say, okay, I'll pay a little bit less for this one, but I'll pay a little bit more for the next one. You're able to also connect with the seller of the shirt. So if you find a good deal, the seller will know that he's able to pay a little bit less for this one, but he'll come back for the next drop that I have, for example. And I always do that. Because we discuss the shirts that are coming in, discuss the shirts that are available. And I always try to buy it at a good price. And I usually do get a good price. Sometimes I don't, and I have to go to a different one. And we're going to go back to, I know you have like an advice for new collectors, and I have one that I'll give later on. But the one that I paid the most for, and it's probably because I had a little bit of FOMO, and it is this
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah.
It is this one, and I obviously have all the patches on the side as well with it, just to make sure that I had it perfectly. It's the authentic
Yeah.
version, so as you can see,
Player.
and
Yeah. No,
of course,
obviously. Got.
and
Yeah. It's
I paid full retail, and I paid everything to get everything on there, so it was $250, I'd say, in total. I mean,
yeah, because the shipping as well go on top of the share, you know.
and the customs as well, everything like that. In
Oh,
Norway, the customs are crazy. So it's the one that I paid the most for, but I also it's a little bit of an investment because I know eventually people will be asking for this one and they want this one.
yeah.
It's the first that Messi wore in the United
Yeah.
States, and
Yeah.
it's going to be worth a lot of money because it is what it is. It
Yeah.
is the first one. The same one with the first Cristiano when he went to Saudi Arabia is going to be the same.
Yeah.
I don't have that, and I don't really want that shirt, but this one I really really wanted. Also because it's pink,
Yeah.
so it's easy to wear. It's
Yeah.
easy to wear. So
Yeah.
that's the one that I paid the most for actually. And a lot of people are like, "What? What about all the shirts you have?" Yeah, I paid good money, but not as much. Not as
Yeah.
much.
True. And which shirt do you when you got it you thought like, oh, I actually bought for a very good price, very like cheaper than I expect, that you got surprised for that price that you pay.
Oh, it's Really good
Because
question.
it has to be intense as well of quality, you know, like you probably can have like $10 jerseys, but you probably can have one of 50 that it's like a $300 shirt.
I'll tell you what. You know, we spoke about bundles earlier, like in terms of
Yeah,
buying
yeah,
shirts
that
in
could
bundles.
be. Yeah, tell me which one.
And I don't necessarily agree with the hype of the shirt. I like the shirt, but it's too much hype. The shirt
Yeah.
is too much hype. But I'll show it to you. And I probably shouldn't, because it came with a box, of course. So I probably shouldn't ever taken it outside of the box. But people are like with these ones.
Yes, that's the kind of shirt that everyone get crazy, even though the club is not like a super club that everyone like it's trending, you know. But
But it's insane. I mean, if you look at the
it's
details,
crazy.
the details are insane.
And
This,
I can see as well that it's like a player version.
it is a player version. It's
Yeah,
it's authentic. So it has the vapor knit
vapor
down
knit.
here on the side. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it has like things in the
Oof,
back as well, all
such
in
a
gold.
cool
So it's like gold and
detail.
black.
Brand
I have
new.
the box as well. So I have the box. I have everything with it. But I'm one of those. If I'm gonna, what is a shirt worth if you just put it in a box and no one cares about it? You know, no one gets to see it. It's no fun. But I have the box. I have everything with the box. I can box it up just as it was, no problem. I haven't thrown out anything of it. So I have everything from the shirt when it was released. But I bought it in a bundle. Like a friend of mine, he was cutting down on his collection because he was having a child, and he needed to earn some money. So he sold off a lot of his shirts in bundles. Um, and I kept telling him, and I have to say, because he came into the room now, Evan, that guy in the room, he knows this guy as well. And we've spoken about this guy because we
Yeah,
both know him because he's Norwegian.
yeah.
And we both tell him when he sells shirts, is like, how much how much did you buy it for? We always ask how much, and he gives us a price, and he'll say, I'll be nice. I'll cut the price for you guys. And I always tell the guy, but look, dude, don't sell it too cheap now. Like I'm saying that, please, I don't want to get it for that cheap. I want to want to pay more for it because I want to be fair. But he's like, no. It's going to a collector, no problem. I'm happy that it goes to someone that will, cherish it and appreciate it. So I bought a lot of stuff in bundles from that guy. Everything I have to when I got it, I had to legit check everything just for the peace of mind because the prices were really nice.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and after that I called him and I texted him and I said, look, if you want to buy everything back from the same price, let me know. That's something I always do when I know I'm buying from collectors. I always, as long as I buy it out of their collection and not something that they have thought of selling, I always say to the collector, if you want to buy it back from the same price, let me know and I'll sell it back for the same price.
Yeah, you're talking about that shirt with the box. It's like
shirt with the box,
hype.
yeah.
Extremely hype. And we're talking about like people in eBay selling that shares for like $500 to $2,000 easily. So
it's stupid. I don't like that. I have to say that's one of the things that I don't like about how the shirt community has developed as well. The reselling, and I don't mind reselling. Reselling is fine to me. I mean, they're selling football shirts. They're not selling drugs. That's everything I'm saying all the time.
yeah,
If it's good, but I'm just saying, look, don't price people out of the market. Don't price people out of the market. It's the stupidest thing. Because I used to collect, I have a big Air Jordan sneaker collection as well. I loved Air Jordans as a kid. But at one point, people would go and stand in line and buy Air Jordan sneakers only to go on eBay or go on all these other sites to try and sell them off for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the amount. And once that starts hitting football shirts, which it has, eventually you're going to price people out of the market and it's not going to be nearly as fun. So I think that as collectors, we have a lot of responsibility to make people understand how this actually should and has to work.
Yeah. And it is affected, like last week, it happened, the Predators from Adidas, they just dropped. Now in my Facebook marketplace is like people selling for €500, like stupid prices, and you can even go into Adidas and try to find it, buy it online for like way less. But yeah, I understand.
We had the same thing with the Norway shirt, with the mountain shirt,
Yeah.
the iceberg shirt. We had the exact same thing. Um, I told people, I said, hey, look, man, if anyone wants to buy this shirt, let me know. I'll go down to my store and I'll buy it and I'll send it to people for the price that it costs. I don't give a. I mean, people wants the shirt. I mean, people are online selling it for 300 euros, and I have it in my store for like 80 euros.
80.
No problem.
Yes.
No problem. I'll go and I'll
Yeah.
buy it, and I'll ship it to you. No problem. Just let me know how many
Exactly.
you guys need.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Now we arrive to these like funny questions that I just like want to know a little bit. Well, will you do right? And it is like this hypothetical situation. We touch wood, nothing happened, but like something happened in your house, and you have to run, and you have just one hand, and you take that hand. Which 3 years is will you save from that like fire, earthquake, or whatever?
3 jerseys.
3 years is you can save from your collection.
I've already showed. I can show it again for if there's new people watching. I'll show one of them.
Yeah.
We spoke earlier about connecting with memories and stuff. So I'll see if I can find it. I did show it earlier, so it might be under here. Hold on. This is the thing when you have like really big hangers that they all kind of bundle into each
Yeah.
other. Hold on. I'll try not to destroy anything. Here it is.
Be careful
Just put these
with the
back.
gems.
I have to be careful with them because there's a lot of money now sitting on the top of my shelf here.
Yeah, of course.
This is one I'll definitely because it again childhood memories.
Yeah.
So this one I would 100% grab in a fire or grab to get out of the fire. So this one is one. This one is two.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The treble.
Yeah.
The treble shirt. Yeah.
With the
yeah.
on the
With
back. You got
Yeah.
the specs on the side, everything like that. So, and I have to say, prior because I haven't talked about this. This is the first, not this particular one, but the first ever football shirt that I got was this shirt. So when I was a
Good
kid,
election.
yes, exactly, it was bought from England as well. The first ever shirt that I got as a kid was this shirt.
Unbelievable.
And I was able to buy it again last year at a pretty good price. And it even has the zipper. You see the zipper there? It's not ruined.
Yeah. Which is
Cool.
very, very rare because that like
Very
pretty
rare.
much all of them you got like the snap gone.
They all snapped off really quickly. And the same is when I open and I close it now, I like push down on the top of this. Instead of using the zipper, I push down in order not to destroy the zipper.
Yeah.
So I'm really like, so this one, the Norway one, and the third one. Oh, you're making this difficult for me, man.
Yeah. It's difficult choices.
I think I have to grab this one. I think it has to be this one.
Oh yeah, Valencia. Oof, with the Tierra Mítica.
Yeah, and obviously with the
Liga patch
on the side, but John Carew on the back.
Yeah, what a striker!
An insane striker. I mean, John Carew was my childhood idol. And he because he's from a place really close to where I'm from. He played for Vålerenga, as we saw the shirts we saw earlier. And I'm half Moroccan, half Norwegian. He's half from Gambia, half from Norway. So we were both half African, half Norwegian. We were both from the city center or from the city here. He played for the team that I grew up supporting. So I followed him wherever he went, and I became a Valencia fan because of him.
Yeah.
And this was the shirt that he played in. This was his first season. They went to the Champions League final. They lost to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
He scored in the penalty shootout. I was sitting in front of my TV on a little pillow in front of the TV, looking up at the TV screen, watching as the whole thing unfolded. Lost the final but I mean, and I met him. I met him when he was just had signed for Valencia. He came to my youth club or the youth center that I used to go to, and I was looking like this when I was talking to him because he was so huge.
Tall, yeah.
Yeah. So no, he had a great impact on me. So I those would be the three ones that I'd probably say from because they mean the much to me. I'd say.
I think like Curry was the player that like most connects with Norway in my brain as well because he was huge in the early 2000s. Very good player, and also just the dimension. He was like very very big, and also striker, scoring many goals, and the teams play a lot for him as well.
Yeah.
So very very good.
Insane
Very good.
player. No, he was absolutely insane. A nice guy as well. Today he's an actor actually. He works as an actor, so he's in like different movies and TV shows and stuff in Norway. So that's what he does these days.
Nice, nice. I don't know if you are like the people that like to have your shirts signed. Do you?
No, I genuinely don't. It depends on the shirt. Depends on the shirt. For example, the Haaland shirt that you saw earlier, the Molde one, I'm going to get that signed for sure because it's
Iconic.
it's iconic. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the question that I would like to ask you is like, which shirt you would love to have signed and by who?
That's not in this room. It's in my living room, which tells you a lot about what I think about it. But I have framed a huge frame of Real Sociedad shirt with Ødegaard 21 on the back because I interviewed Ødegaard. I do a podcast in Norway called La Liga Loca, which is about La Liga. And once he had signed for Real Sociedad, we traveled to San Sebastian to interview him. So we sat there for an hour when we spoke to him. And the thing, I'll tell you a really, really cool story. So and this is actually a shirt story. That's kind of cool. So we traveled down, me and one of my partners, we traveled down to do the podcast. And we said it would be really cool to have Martin Ødegaard like sign a shirt or whatever. So we have like a signed shirt. And we all thought, it would be really, really nice. And we got down there and we went to see one of his friendlies. And he played with number 21 on the back, but he hadn't been given an official number yet. So we looked through the squad list, and those who know in Spain, if you have between 1 and 25, you're in the first team. So we have to look between 1 and 25, which numbers are available. And the only numbers that were sort of available was like, it was 21, it was 12, it was 3, there was like a couple other numbers. So I spoke with my friend and we said, look, should we just take a chance and just print one shirt? And we did. So we went to the store, we printed Ødegaard 21, and we went and we did the interview at Subieta, which is the training facility. And we told him, look, we have some shirts, do you mind signing them? And he looked at them and he said, okay, yeah, no problem, signing them. And as he's signing the shirts, the media guy, he comes in and he looks at the shirt and it says, Ødegaard, he said 21, 21. And he looked at it and he said, that's what I'm signing. And he says, oh, have you picked 21? And we look at him like, is he going to say yes or no? And he looks at us and he looks at the guy and he says, I picked 21. So Ødegaard decided to pick 21 because we sat there and we were signing the shirts. So Ødegaard playing with 21 in Real Sociedad was because he had to sign shirts with 21. So we were the ones that kind of got him to choose 21 because we took a chance. So what he said in the interview, he said in interviews like shirt numbers, he doesn't care too much about shirt. To him, it's a shirt. It's the front of the shirt that matters to him. So whatever's on the back,
it's okay.
So it was a really cool story that he picked his shirt number because we were sat there with him. It seemed like he picked it because we sat there. So he played with 21 after that.
Yeah, very, very cool anecdote. To be honest, unbelievable. You are the one that changed his mind. Like, pretty much make the decision, Like, unbelievable that in this, like, and we're talking about a very, very, like, worldwide player because it's a top class.
Yeah.
And look at that. Yeah, very, very good. And he also, it's very a player that you can't believe how old is him because you see him from like 14 years going to Real Madrid and then play with a lot of different clubs and a very good like level. And now finally like with Arsenal doing like amazing stuff in the Premier League and Champions League as well.
And he's such an amazing guy as well. I've spoken to Martin Odegaard on many occasions. He's a fantastic, he's a super nice guy. Always has time for fans. Always has time to chat. So I have to say, I've interviewed a lot of different players, a lot of different people, but he's one of the nicest people that I've spoken to. So whatever you see and whatever you think, about him and about the life he's lived, everything, he's the nicest guy in the world. So all the best to him.
Yeah, I will try to find that Real Sociedad and put the 21.
You have to think.
It has to be.
Think of me. You have to think of me because I was the one that made it happen.
Yeah, it will. It will. And we are arriving to the end of the podcast, unfortunately. So my last question is the one that we mentioned before. Any advice that you wanna to give to any new collectors?
Patience. Have a lot of patience. Don't get FOMO. The thing is that I've experienced it time and time again. And I have to say, as a serious collector, I've only been 2 years, really seriously collecting. I've always collected shirts, but I've always looked for shirts the places that I've been. If there's certain shirts that I've wanted, I've always gotten them. But making sure that I have a proper collection, I've only done it for 2.5 years, where I really started making systems and tried to find certain shirts that I just hadn't found before. And what I've found is that despite the fact that I've always sort of had a collection, being patient is the best thing you can do, because if you miss out on a shirt the first time, you'll always get a second chance. You'll always get a third chance. You'll always get a fourth chance. It'll arrive at some stage. So be patient and don't pay over the odds. Don't think that this is your only chance of getting a shirt. It always comes back around. So that's my one advice. And the other advice that I'd also say is, if you want to decide if you want to be a collector or decide if you want a couple of shirts. Those two things are not the same thing. If you want to collect something, you have to make sure that you collect. If you want to make sure that you just want a couple of shirts because of the style of the shirt, then be honest about wanting it for the style of the shirt. There's no issue with that. I don't think it's a bad thing that someone wants 2 or 3 shirts to look good in, but then don't come around and say that you're a huge collector. So always manage to weigh up why do you want to buy a football shirt, and then you pay money based upon it. If you only want one shirt, for example, if you only want the Valencia Carew shirt, you probably should pay a little bit over the odds because that's the one that you want. If you're like me and like yourself, if you're a collector, then manage your money and be patient about finding the right price, because you're in it as a collector, not as someone who's buying a one-off. I walked away from tons and tons and tons of shirts that I've wanted because the price has not been right. Because the price has been, this is a shirt that the individual that's buying it either has a tremendous amount of money or they just want that one shirt. So be patient. It always comes around again, and it usually comes around at a price that is affordable to you. And be certain of what type of collector you are as well. So that's my advice for any new collector trying to get into the game. And also make sure that you understand that you're part of a community where everyone takes care of each other. I mean, everyone in the football and shirt community, in the collecting community, wants everyone to get what they want. We all are trying to help each other find the different shirts, to talk about it. That's what we're doing now. We're enjoying our passion. We're enjoying having fun. I'm looking at your shirts in the back, and I'm envious of both of them. I want both of those shirts. You're looking at the shirts that I have, and you want all the shirts that I want. My job then is to help you find those. Your job is to help me find those, and you got to pay it forward at all times. So if you want to be a football shirt collector, you're welcome into the community, but make sure you understand that you're part of a community and everyone helps each other out.
True. Very, very good advices. Um, 100% agree with all of them. Yeah, 100%. Jonas, we arrived to the end of the podcast. It was a pleasure to have you here. You have an amazing collection, and you're an amazing person. So I'm very glad that you give us like this an hour to talk about your shirts and all your stories. Yeah, it's been a fantastic time to share.
No, likewise. I've really enjoyed myself. Again, thank you so much for having me on. And yeah, I really enjoy these things that you do, and obviously letting people highlight their collections. And again, you're helping tightening the community by doing this, because I think that a lot of people have so many fantastic shirts, stories, and grails that they can share with the world. So you doing this is doing a really good service to people. So I don't have a hat, but I'll take it off for you anyways for what you're doing. So chapeau, tremendous work. So keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and everyone that was watching this to the live. Thank you for connecting, for comment, for everything. And you know that this episode will be in my YouTube channel as well. You are free to see all this amazing interview that we have with Jonas. So don't forget to please follow Jonas and comment in all these amazing posts that he has with amazing photos. So thank you very much, Jonas. See you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome to come back.
Thank you so
all
much.
the time that you want.
Appreciate that.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Bye now.